start, as far as we know, the GISCOMBES or so, they probably started out in, where I'm at now is in England.
Yep.
So we're gonna start at England. Oh Lords. And we're gonna target Northumberland is the Swainers, and the GISCOMBES are right outside Rochester. It's Cliff right here. So the Thames run up.
Mm.
So the church of Cliff is right here, and then Higham is in the back.
Okay.
The registration the documents are in Rochester.
It's
Rochester.
interesting because the Ellis family, the Ruig family, came from I can't see it. Tilbury,
Gravesend, okay.
No, they came from just on the Thames there.
So Gravesend is on the south end, south bank.
Yeah.
And Rochester is also the south bank.
Yeah, they came from the same area. Anyway,
Yeah.
grandmother, that's Grandma Ellis. She grew up around Maidstone.
Maidstone. Oh man. So Maidstone is somewhat central too, but you'll find registered documents in Rochester and Maidstone in here. We didn't find it in Canterbury, because there's a Canterbury Tales and all that.
Yeah.
And you go to Dover. So the GISCOM and Swainers.
Yeah.
So the Swainers are coming out of Northampton, and basically they are the ones who used to keep the Scots from coming across the border into England. All right. So that's the region. So the first set of records starts. I'll put this up here. That in Higham, which is on the back of Maidstone, Kent, I started to find Dorothy Gissom, Gissom, and William Gissom. Right? He died 1636. They had one child, as far as we know, William Gissom. Okay?
Yeah.
Then we find William Gissom. He is a rich landowner. Acres and acres of sheep thing. But he had this son. But this son died before him, before the old man. The old man went ahead and married a young girl named Jane. Jane Stein. Staines.
Staines, yeah.
So while he's called William the Senior, this one is called William the Younger.
Right. Okay.
See? William the Younger. Alright?
Yep.
So William the Younger married Jane Steins. He had Richard Gissom, Henry, William, James, Dorothy, and another William. And see the spelling is different. So this is the spelling over a short period of time. It's changing from Gissom to Gissom. Okay. This James, Dorothy, and William were about 7 years old when not this Jane, but the old man up here married another person. But this old man, the grandfather, left money to these three grandkids, £100 or so each, and properties were supposed to be given to James and the wife. What happened? The young wife married another person, and by the time these kids grew up, they were asking for their inheritance from the property. They wouldn't get any way with her. This James, by the time he grew up, sued Jane. Right, so we come back from James Giscombe. We bring James Giscombe here. He was baptized 1636. Right, he died. So he married Elizabeth, I think, Sweno. This is, I put a question mark beside Elizabeth Sweno, because when James was sent to Barbados, James and Elizabeth was sent to Barbados, the grandmother Sweno was calling this boy her grandson. So I'm assuming that Elizabeth, who died at 18 years old and something, is a Sweno.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
She's so famous that at Cliff, the main church at Cliff, she's buried in the church. But by the time we reached, my daughter and I went, the grave, they were renovating a section of the church, and they covered her grave and her epitaph.
Yeah.
And it looks like a skull with markings on it. I show it in the picture.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's Elizabeth Sweno. Alright. Because the mother died, I'm assuming that the father, James Giscombe, could not take care of the kids. So they were sent maybe on a ship or something. Well, obviously a ship to Barbados. These two kids.
James and Elizabeth.
James and Elizabeth Giscombe. You see how it's spelled Gissom, and sometimes it's GS. In Barbados now, when they reach Barbados, when by the time the Sweno grandmother, sold, by the time he reached age maybe 21, the grandmother sold 2 acres of land. I have a document to James, and she spelled the name Guiscombe. So all of a sudden now then the B comes into play. Right? So it's William, and then William, then James and Elizabeth, and then James comes down here and married a Francis. The name, I didn't put the name, but his wife was Francis in Barbados. So in Barbados he had James, John, and Mary Giscombe, and that's in Barbados. So that's a Giscombe thing. So here, when Elizabeth Sweno, I understand, how did he meet the Swenos? If the Swenos are in Northumberland, but somehow the father of the Swenos, the Sweno father, he had the sheriff of Northumberland, he was put in the Tower And his son was a famous military man
Right.
who, by that time, he was in Barbados. But when he came back and visiting, because his mother died, he came back to Northumberland, and he got in a fight with the car guy, and he was killed. So here he is his wife is still in Barbados, his kids, and he is dead in England. So now in Barbados now, we jump to Barbados. So in Barbados now we have James GISCOMBES. By the time now the name is getting solid, married a Francis, and they have James, John, and Mary, as we said on that side. This James had married a girl named Han, the last name Han. They had Elizabeth, Margaret, and Mary, so that the name GISCOMBES couldn't carry on here. Mary married a Pooler, and before she died, she turned over the kids back to her grandmother. So she died, and she had Pooler. So Mary died also, and the kids were raised by the grandmother.
What date's that? That's 1758.
Yeah, 17.
Mid
These kids are 1740, 1753, 1729 for Mary.
Yeah, mid 1700s.
Yes. Yeah. So Mary, the same Mary here, 1729, married a Pooler. James married Hanny, and Paul have girls. John, now is the name changed. John GISCOMBES, who was born around 1705 and died to 1753, married Alice. And this John had a son named John, who was born in 1720. Am I right? 1720. Yes, because he was born 1705. He's John, born 1720. They seem like there was a disagreement between he and the father, because the will says he's not going to give anything to him. So it seemed like he's on his own now. This John seemed to have a son named John GISCOMBES Jr. This John GISCOMBES 1720 John GISCOMBES had a son named James.
So they're all in Barbados?
All in Barbados. So from they came to Barbados as a child, maybe he was born 1660 something, 65. He reached Barbados maybe when he was, I'm not even sure if they were 10 or so, or maybe 7 and 10, because they were very young. They were young kids.
Yeah.
So the mother died. So they were sent to Barbados to stay, to be raised by the Swainers. And then these two, they have three kids, and these 3 kids, one had only girls, this one married a Pooler, and this kid, she died young. Because she wrote the will and said, okay, on my death, the kids are supposed to be looked after the mother. And then John is the only one that carries on the GISCOMBES name. And John and Alice had the John. John, same John, had a James. For some reason, so this James born 1745. 1770, he's the one that packed up and came to Jamaica.
Oh, right.
So this James came to Jamaica. And when he came to Jamaica now, he met Han Clark. And then hell break loose. Oh man. Oh. So when he came to Jamaica now, I mean, he's in, yes, he packed up and came to Jamaica. And then we're going to go to the Jamaican thing now. Jamaican map.
So many of them.
Yeah.
And originally it's GISS.
UN.
UN.
Jisum.
Why do you suggest it's J with a soft J?
Well, just me.
Griffin, GRIFFEN, is a very common word.
But it's not R. No R in it.
No, but it's still, the spelling's the same. Griffin.
Griffin. G-R-I.
Yeah, and it's pronounced with a hard G.
Yeah.
And the griffin means a lion in heraldic terms.
Oh yeah.
Griffin.
We have griffins in Jamaica, but I mean.
Do you? Yeah.
Well,
I've never heard. I wouldn't have thought, looking at it, it would be a soft J in English.
You think so?
I would have thought it would be a hard J.
Because you're looking at G. Oh, but how do you get the R in this?
No, you don't get no. I'm just saying.
Okay.
GRIFFEN is Griffin. So Giffen, that would be Griffin, wouldn't it? You couldn't do it in soft G. Yeah. I would have thought, just looking at it in English, you would have said that was a hard G.
Oh.
Giffen. But who knows?
But you see, this is not F.
No, it's an S.
It's
Gissen.
S. So Gisum.
Yeah.
So when you look at the old English, it's Gisum.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not even SUM. And it looks like this sometimes GYSSOM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gissen.
So
it's George. It's soft G in George, of course.
So G. Okay. All right. So we swing to Jamaica.
Yeah, okay.
He comes to Jamaica.
Yeah.
We bring him up here. I don't know my computer. Maybe it's still recording. And Jamaica. This is north. And let's bring it over closer to you. And he first settles in Trelawney Parish. Is it Trelawney? Montego Bay. It's right behind Montego Bay.
Yeah.
And this is part of the cockpit country. The whole of this section is almost like Tamwit, but it's full of pockets like a cock comb. So when the planes fly over this, it's the planes shake.
Oh, okay.
So he gets 200 acres of land somewhere near the in cockpit country near the Maroon region. Apparently, because my assumption is that this part of Jamaica, the eastern part of Jamaica, wasn't open up. The land wasn't granted to anybody as yet. So, and I suspect here, because it's rocky and not very fertile, when this area now, 1770 settles here, he started to have two babies. I think he had Ellis and James over there, right after those two kids. And then all of a sudden, he started to have, he and Han Clark jumped over to this region, not Bay, the Buff Bay Valley. They jumped over to the Buff Bay Valley and having, see Rose Hill right here? It's the GISCOMBES plantation. So this valley was being opened up, the Buff Bay Valley now, with a little river running to the side. The government is opening it up. So they're cutting up the land into Rosetown, Tranquility, Belvedere's, and so forth. This is so when you said the eastern part of it, it's the northeastern part of Jamaica, they finally settled. And Rose Hill, at one time he called it Rose Hall, because over here the famous Rose Hall is over here. So maybe he's picking up the same name.
Yeah.
But eventually it's called Rose Hill Plantation.
Where's Happy Hut?
Happy Hut, I'm going to show you Happy Hut soon.
Okay.
Alright, so he's having babies over there. He has the rest of them legitimate kids. I'm not even sure, because I'm not sure if he's married to Ann Clark. Is Ann, John, Elijah, Francis, Dorothy.
Yeah.
And then he's having all these others with different kids, with different mothers.
Yeah.
He has another Mary, Edward, James, Susan, and so forth. And that's all happening in this region.
Right, okay.
The connection between here, over here is Maroon settlement, Charlestown, right here. Where's Charlestown? Somewhere here. See Charlestown?
Yeah.
He's another Maroon settlement.
Okay.
So why is he
Close
attached to
them.
the Maroons all the time like that? Because I eventually found out that he's a colonel, or he's an important person. All right.
Now, at this stage,
Yes.
is he still Caucasian?
Yes, they're
Yes,
Caucasian.
they're all Caucasian.
Yes. All of these kids, all of these are
They're all
Caucasian. They
Caucasians,
put
yeah.
on. They don't put Caucasian. They put white
Yeah,
on the
white.
document, right down to here. Dorothy and all of them are white. And they put in the baptism records white, actual white.
Oh, okay.
Or if you're Mustique or whatever, or a woman of color.
Yeah.
And that's so. Take out this section now of the Buff Bay Valley, and I'm gonna widen it up to you now. Here you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So
Where's Buffalo's there?
it's the
Yeah.
Buff Bay. So Buff. Okay. Let's see if we bring it over so you can see it more.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
And I'm gonna show you the explosion of the family now. Buff Bay Valley. Charlestown, Rose Hill
Yeah.
is ours. Plantation is right here. The Great House was somewhere there. Tranquility. So imagine now you're on the north side coming from Buff Bay. You're going up the valley. You're going higher. You see the contour lines?
Yeah.
You're going up the mountain.
Yeah.
So by the time you reach up here, the Blue Mountain Peak is somewhere nearby, right? So here is the center of his family. After the wife died, he started to have babies, and then the kids now. James married. Sherry was a big talker in the family. Elisha, I don't know if you say like Francis, all of these kids, they're owning their bits of property. And
In this same area.
yes, so now they start to expand. All of these circles where it's colored is you find GISCOMBE settlement. A GISCOMBE family move into the region and settle. Buff Bay Valley, you can go up the valley. You see in a letter where Han Clark talk about the people sold their product and the small farms, and they took it to the market on Saturdays. They come over the Buff Bay Valley into Kingston, they go over the Blue Mountains and they come up this valley and they sold some of their product over here.
Okay.
But some of it they may go down to the Buff Bay market and sell. By the time Maxwell comes to town now, James, the daddy, he's dead, the whole man, and James, this one, James GISCOMBE, is having have Ann Clark, his kids. I know a chart for that. The computer would help me. But the chart that we have in your
his kids. Yeah.
Yes. James is a big shot. Maxwell comes to town and see Nutter Bay, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maxwell comes to town maybe as a doctor at the hospital, a military doctor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he and James hook up. Right? See, GISCOMBE to Maxwell. So GISCOMBE actually sold part of one of the properties here to Maxwell. But at the same time, they have partnership going on. This big area shaded like this, look how big it is, belongs to both of them. So Happy Hut is somewhere, Happy Hut is somewhere in here. See Happy Hut here? We soon finish. When you get a nap. I know you're getting tired, but we soon finish.
That's
So
right.
see Happy Out here,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, there it is. There.
But you see this big shade?
Yeah.
That's a large plantation.
Is that Enfield? Is it?
Enfield is nearby. See Enfield here?
Oh, there's Enfield. Yeah.
So Enfield, Tembury, and above Enfield and Tembury, they own this massive
Big slice of land.
piece of
there.
land. Right, and that's not the whole man now. The whole man is either dead and gone.
Mm.
He became colonel to the Maroons,
Yeah.
and now James, his
Son.
son. So what is the son doing? He's a master builder.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought they were in Barbados. It seemed like they were master builders, bricklayers, and so
okay.
forth.
Oh,
So the church in Buff Bay,
yeah.
the Anglican church in Buff Bay,
Yeah.
it burnt down or blown away or something, and they commissioned it. I found a document where the James GISCOMBE was commissioned to build the tower, the clock tower, and that clock tower was built
Good Lord.
by
Yeah.
James.
James the father or James the son?
I'm not sure. I think it's James' son.
Yeah.
I think it's James' son, because
Oh,
the old man would have been too old.
Yeah.
But this land is so Maxwell is based maybe in the hospital. He and his partner own this land. Here and behold, Maxwell marries to James' daughter. And that's a connection there. And that's where, so all these years now, GISCOMBE, see, they're exploding all over the place.
Yeah.
But mainly in these hilly areas.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yes. They've somewhat died out in Barbados. They have somewhat died out in the western part of Jamaica. And here and below, this one man, from this one James GISCOMBE,
Yeah.
this one James Barbados, 16, that married to Ann Clark.
1745.
1745 to 1813 he died.
The year that Bonnie Prince Charlie arrived in Scotland, 1745. 1813. So he's the first one in Jamaica.
Yes.
Alice, they're all
Yes.
his children.
Yes.
And his son,
His son.
James GISCOMBE,
Yes.
married that one,
Anne.
1772.
Mhm.
Married Jane Skinner.
Jane Skinner, woman
and
of color.
their daughter
Yes.
married James Maxwell.
Maxwell. Yes.
I wonder if he got married because his name was James.
You mean James?
Yeah, he was a James too.
What do you mean? What do you really mean? He got married to
No, his daughter married James Maxwell.
Right, his daughter married James Maxwell.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then it started to explode again. The Maxwells, the Wallace. So the family is just exploding and expanding all over the world. They're coming to Canada, they're going back to Scotland, they're doing all sorts of things. Yeah. So that's how, and then from there you have the master tree in the book.
Yeah.
That can have. I'm gonna in the week we give you a copy after. But we should make copies before I go to the function, because of the function yeah. So we make copies of that. All right. So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you this too after we present. You can take this one.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't copy it. So this is when I met Susan.
Oh, it's Susan Bussier. Yeah.
Does she look like you? Or she looks like you?
No, not really.
Not really, but she has that.
No, you've got to be careful of thinking all white people look the same.
No. No. It's just a family look.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm going to show you, when you finish, you can make copies of
So
this.
these are all your children?
Yes,
That's
this is when
Shirley.
we went up there.
That's your wife?
Shirley, my first daughter, and my son.
Yeah.
And he was about, I guess, 8. She was maybe 3.
Right.
So that's 20, maybe 22 years ago
Yeah.
when I met her.
Yeah, it's a nice picture.
Lovely lady. We had a good time.
No, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Susan Bussier.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
I'm gonna show you. Oh, where did I do it? Now, you think this son look like you?
Slightly different hairdo.
Yeah, but
I don't think he's got that Maxwell nose though.
no, it's not Maxwell.
No.
But it's a typical GISCOMBE.
Yeah.
All right. His brother, that's my grandfather. That's Darius.
Yeah.
His brother is this John.
Oh, okay.
This is John, who met his grandmother from Africa,
Yeah.
and is.
There's a picture of him in your book too. Isn't
Yes, but here it's clear. There's he and his 2 sons.
Yeah.
So you see the complexion is sometimes the kids bring up back the
Yeah,
color,
yeah,
and he's clearer than his brother
yeah.
because he's 2 different, same father but different mothers.
Mothers, yeah.
His mother was clearer,
Mm.
and his mother was dark, but the father was.
When did Darius die?
1972.
So you knew him quite well.
Oh yeah, a shoemaker.
Mm.
So this is John again.
Yeah.
By the time we went to the first, this one of the second, third. I don't can't even make that out.
Oh yeah, okay.
The family reunion.
Yeah.
Probably. We went up to see him.
Yep. Who's that lady?
That's Ines. She used to call him uncle. She used to call my grandfather uncle.
Oh, okay.
So her mother is sister to my grandfather and thing.
Right, okay.
I'm gonna show you another. Now Darius, you have John's 2 sons, and he was a bad man. He has kids all over the place, maybe 15 or whatever,
Oh, good Lord.
different women. But he was born, I think, in Panama, spoke Spanish.
Oh, okay.
That's why they sent him back as a baby to Jamaica.
Yeah, good Lord.
Yeah. So now look at this. This is Darius's son. This is the man who adopted me.
Right, okay.
And this is a cousin. He was in the RAF
Yeah, that's
in another GISCOMBE. We went and looked for him. I don't even know.
the RAF, the British Air Force.
Yes, he was out in Boscombe, near Medstone
Yeah,
was
Boston,
based.
Yeah.
So we went to look for him before he. Brilliant guy. He's married a girl from Sweden.
Good Lord.
Maybe similar to you. Yeah. So his daughters are in London.
What's his name?
Oh geez, I'm like. Okay, I think I wrote it down. Laura Sigismund and Keith Giscombe.
So they all pronounce themselves Giscombe?
Well, it's me. Because my adopted mother spelled Giscombe. She said Giscombe. And I'm saying Giscombe. So that's this Darius' son. Sigismund, he raised me with the other lady, his wife. This is another Darius' son. This is the youngest one. He's still alive. He's 80-something.
Yeah.
He was born in 38. And these are cousins. She was a judge in Detroit. She was a judge.
So she was a Giscombe too? Yeah,
her grandmother is Giscombe. Darius' his sister. So she's supposed to call Uncle John not really. Her mother is to call. So Uncle John is her grand uncle.
So that those two are the same?
No. He's just married into
next generation.
No, he's just a family member. He's married
okay.
to one of the. He's married to one of the
Okay.
Darius's niece.
Okay.
Yeah, and his wife is still alive. She's 90. Oh Jesus, she was born 1926. So she's 97.
Okay.
Now, right up, I'm gonna show you this man and compare with my grandfather.
Yeah.
This you think he looks alike?
Yeah, they do, don't they? Similar noses.
And I'll tell you about that one.
Okay.
And then that's
Let me just go and let them in.
Yeah. Oh, let me see presentation.
Never mind. Coming.
Hi. So we're almost finished.
No, that's all right. It's
Very
very interesting. So, he is his.
No.
They're not related.
Just on a different line.
Oh, different.
But he's carrying he's the color, and he's carrying a darker color because of his mother.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you about this one now. He is on a plantation that I think he inherited. He's on the Anata Bay. He's come see. He's right here.
Oh, okay.
He's right here.
So
Just
very
below
close
Kamsi.
to-
Very close to this plantation.
Yeah.
But right here he has a large property with the long mango, and he's Dali. He died after I met him. This is his wife who died in New York. And then this kid.
So where's he live? Where did he live? There, did he?
Right along
Yeah.
Long Road.
Yeah.
And that's up the hill from Anata Bay, from Dr. Maxwell.
Yeah.
And it's just a, what that?
So
one
how far is that roughly?
Look at the scale.
There it is there.
Which one on the scale now? Here we go. A mile is about an inch.
Inch or so.
So
Yeah, so it'd be 10, 15 miles.
From here to here is just a mile. You can just walk up the hill,
Yeah.
and then from here to here maybe about
Yeah. 5 or
10.
6. 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 miles. 6 miles up the hill. So he has that plantation with the mangoes. But how close? But he told me a lot too, because he knew his grandfather and how,
Yeah.
that type of thing. So they're in that core. Now all of these guys from these different sections, they either migrate to England, Canada, Panama. That's what they're doing. They're spreading out now.
Yeah. So
Scotland.
some of these children
Yeah.
would be in England or.
Oh yes. And those are not his kids. Really, I'll show you who are.
Oh, okay.
This is my mother.
Oh, your mother.
Yeah, she went with me. This is my son, and this is my little son at the time.
Oh, right.
So this is his wife. This is his grandson and his granddaughter. These are his grandkids. None of his sons are there. He has only one son.
Oh, okay.
Which is.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's just the family just died down from they came into Sweden or whatever it is, the bloodline. Then they developed back again in Europe, and then they move out. They almost died out again in England.
So
And
who
then-
lives at Happy Hut now?
I've never been up there. I don't know
So
who is
not
up
a
there.
Giscombe.
I don't know who owns the property.
No.
And Happy Out is where I say Happy Out
It's
is.
there.
I think I mark it.
Because it would have been
Yeah.
inherited by a Maxwell, I suppose.
Well, when you look at your
Orman Maxwell or one of those.
yes, and then the girl was there, or Horwell or Hornell, something like that.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
And then the lady went back and found the two McCleary girls
Yeah.
on the property.
Oh right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, was still there by that time. But now, what happened? You have a lot of abandoned properties in Jamaica,
Yeah.
and whether people capture them or the government took them back over,
Oh, I see. Okay.
because we lost 800 and something acres of land in this valley. Oak Bay. Oak Bay.
There's Buff Bay.
Oak Bay. Oak Bay is a little bit round more. Yeah,
Oak Bay.
Oak Bay. So right at the church, right here on top of the hill here,
Yeah.
is where my great grandfather's grave is.
Oh, okay.
Right under, I look over the road
Yeah.
with the beach, the sea just rolling up
Oh, lovely.
towards it. And then in the back here, we lost,
Yeah.
see Paradise?
Yeah.
I think in Paradise we lost hundreds of acres of land. And then my great grandmother is maybe buried in here.
Okay. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Great names, aren't they? Berry Hill. Green Ridge. Chelsea. Happy Canyon. Happy Castle.
Is it Happy Castle? Here in Castle?
Castile. It must be Castle. Happy Castle. Can't read it very well. Edenwood. Dowday. Corridor. Swiftfield Paradise. Yeah. So none of them have anything but English names.
Oh. You don't think so? Well,
No, I don't think any of them do that I can see. Shirley Castle there.
Well, you have in this
Maybe.
region, you have heavy German influence also. So,
Oh, okay.
so it's kind of a German
Main Race Hill. Chancery Hill.
chancellery.
Chancery Hall, I think it is. Yeah.
And if you ever realize, as you go up the Buff Bay Valley or you go up the Oak Bay Valley,
Yeah.
you're going up into the Blue Mountain Range.
Swift River.
You're going into the have that.
There's
So,
another Happy Hill.
Happy, okay. So you see, if you take this section, well,
There's another Rose Hill.
another Rose Hill is there.
Must be a lot of them.
Rose Hill. Different from our Rose Hill down here. But I know this is our plantation because
Yeah.
the GISCOMBES plantation, the original plantation, and then on this side now Maxwell and James did their stuff.
Mm. Oh, you've done a lot of research, all right. Brandon Hill.
Well, Brandon Hill is behind my house. It's across from me.
Oh, is that near your house? You live there.
Oh, this is, yeah, I'm over here,
It's
Castleton.
Brandon Hill there.
Oh, you saw that one? Yeah, I'm right behind Castleton. Because Castleton is a botanical garden here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm, see right Scotsall?
Yeah.
I'm right behind Scotsall
Oh, okay.
in
So is it in a village or is it on some land or?
we call, where I grew up, is subsistence farming. The family bought between 26 and 30 acres of land
Right. Okay.
for various members of the family.
Yeah.
And they do, so what you have to realize, Jamaica is mountainous. Is from here is just a small, even from here is just a small little flat land. It's only when you go up the Buff Bay Valley you may get some flat
All
land,
pretty steep.
but it's all hilly. And see the contour. By the time you reach here, you're almost in the Blue Mountain Range already.
Yeah.
So they're planting coffee and cocoa. Take this section, I can mark it out. It runs from Coke Bay, which is Anata Bay,
It's around the corner, isn't it?
Long
Yeah.
Bay, Boston Bay, not even that far. Fairy Hill, some GISCOMBES here. So it's something
Yeah.
taken out. It's not even, this is Port Antonio, we don't even have to come so far. It's right from here and come to Anata Bay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this. And you see, as you go right in here, you're almost in the Blue Mountain Peaks, the Blue Mountain
Yeah, I
Peak
see,
here.
yeah.
So when you go up here, you're winding your way up like you're going in the hills of Scotland.
So are these roads all dirt roads or bitumen?
They're asphalted, but they're in bad shape. But this one, I took it. You go over the hill, and it's some part of it dirt and thing, but it's all
It's going
pothole.
straight to Kingston.
And it comes over the.
Over
Sorry.
the mountains and down to Kingston.
Right, it comes over, and then
Yeah.
from Buff Bay, it comes up the hill,
Yeah.
and Newcastle is where the peak of the mountain range.
Oh, I see.
And then you go down to Irish Town. Newcastle is where the soldiers' camp is. Irish Town is where all the Irish and thing like they settle up in the mountain, and you're up in the Kingston.
Right.
And then by the time you reach Garden Town, there's a market in Garden Town. There's a market in Kingston.
Yeah.
There's a market right here. So they may come at Garden Town and they sell their goods and they turn back and take the donkey and go back up, go over the mountain.
And so what about the western part of
I don't
Jamaica,
hear
is that-
nothing like he gave it up. I'm not sure.
is that more populated?
The population are concentrated around the towns.
Right.
Here you see all these orange.
Yeah.
So the population is in those
In the
areas.
towns.
Yeah.
Now what's Montego Bay famous for? It's got
Montego
a
Bay?
famous song, hasn't it?
Well, it's some good beaches there,
Oh, okay.
and it's all touristy, especially on this side.
Yeah.
And then outside Montego Bay is Rosal, the famous Rosal plantation,
Oh, okay.
5,000 acres. The Annie Palmer, who killed must be 4 husbands. After she
Oh.
finished with them, she just killed them and
Good
buried
Lord.
them.
Huh.
Like she was a mad woman from Dominican Republic or from 80.
Oh, okay.
The last one she killed, took him over into the cane field and killed him, and she turned around and killed the slaves who buried him.
Oh,
So nobody knew where the graves are.
oh, good Lord. So when did all that happen?
Oh jeez.
Back in the slave days?
Yes, slaves.
Early 1800s. Sort of.
Yes.
Hmm.
So that's how.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a whole new world there of history, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me, anyway. For you, it's very familiar, but for me,
Yeah.
it's totally strange.
Because if you go to Jamaica, you're gonna see a different culture, different
Yeah.
topography.
Yeah. Everything about it's different.
Yeah, than what you'd expect.
Mm.
You know, it's hilly, it's full of water, it's green,
Mm.
potholes.
So, do you ever think about going back and living there?
I'm trying, but my wife, we have a house there, and I keep it and maintain it. But
Shirley doesn't want to
she
go
doesn't
back.
want it. She wouldn't. I don't think she would go back. So what I'm doing,
No,
Is that
I've
go
got
back?
children around America.
well, they're not gonna go to.
No.
So what we're gonna do is just go once in a while,
Yeah, shit.
go
Use
down
what you can about it.
and eat mangoes and enjoy
Yeah.
the weather. Go to the beach.
Be cold.
Tired.
Tired?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get the Wi-Fi?
No,
I don't think so. I think we manage
doesn't
without
matter.
it.
You'll be without
Yeah.
tomorrow. That's all.
Yeah.